Pounders, we are back. And today we're going to be doing a first week 1 Smash the Slate series on Battle Royales. We're going to do this every single week. We are actually going to have a special guest on Tuesday nights starting this Tuesday at 6 p.m. So keep your eye out for that. This is going to fill. This is going to fill fast. First, we can go over, we'll go over the contest structure. And before that, I did take down the last week of the regular season. Does that mean I'm coming for my crown? I don't know. I probably not. Probably not, but we're going to try. We're going to try. Russell Wilson to the moon. Let's go over this real quick. I'm surprised it's not bigger because they could fill this thing. They have, first off, a ton of time to fill it. And 20K up top. It's not the heaviest, but it's pretty good. Let me zoom out a little bit. 20K up top, 10K to second, 4K to third. Pretty flat. We'll go over some sleepers. We'll go over some matchups that I like that I don't think will be as heavily targeted. It's kind of unfortunate that Cup not really looking like he's trending towards week 1, if I had to guess. If you don't already know, this is a 6-person contest where you're drafting 1 QB. You're starting at least 1 running back, at least 2 receivers, 1 flex, and 1 tight end. So that flex obviously could be running back, receiver, or tight end. Last year, just a fun little note, there was only 2 contests out of the 18 that had a double stack in a bring back. So one of those contests was the Tyler Boyd week, where was it Higgins and Boyd or Chase and Boyd went off. That's something that's interesting. So because only 36 players are being drafted, there are more high upside players still left on the board. It's not like at the end of drafts in a normal draft where there's crap, there's trash at the end. So it looks like for this contest specifically, yes, stacks and bringbacks raise your upside in a contest with 45,000 people. The double stack doesn't seem to necessarily get there because if you're betting on 2 players in one offense, right, you're sort of betting against one another. If you do Chase and Higgins, you're betting that Chase doesn't get 3 touchdowns and 200 yards or 180 yards, whatever it is. You're kind of betting on a split of like 150 plus and a touchdown each. And then you're betting on like sort of flat scoring throughout the rest of the league. So I do think there is a little more of hitting like parlays. And there's ways to target other games with mini stacks. And we'll go over that. But let's jump into one real quick because the landscape's insane. Let me see if I can show you one team that I already drafted here. If we go to drafts, I wonder where it's going to be. Under active, completed. I don't even know where it's going to be. I am a phone drafter. So we will see with these battle royales. We get the 1 spot very easily. Justin Jefferson. You have to do it. Now, you can also go like KJ Osborne as just a one-off and just kind of leverage the Justin Jefferson teams. I think that's super interesting as a one-off at the end of the drafts, especially when Addison might not have that large role just yet. Hawkinson sort of banged up. But I have Tyreek Hill going at number 2 over Chase this week. I want a lot of pieces of this Miami Chargers game, and I just got a nice super stack. Some hellos. Nate, ER7, Fantasy Dysfunctional, Lucky 7, Adam. All the fellas are out. Whiteout. Jonathan W. Chris, welcome to the live stream. We're not going to overthink this one. We'll just build this one around JJ. We can do, like, I don't even think, like, Mike Evans doesn't get drafted. I don't believe Chris Godwin gets drafted. A lot of these players going outside. Now, I'd probably rather a player like Christian Watson over those two or Tyler Lockett with the news of JSN, depending if JSN plays or not. You're going to get a lot of usage out of Lockett and Metcalf anyways the first several weeks. And who knows, maybe they will just ride it out the whole year as in 2 wide receiver sets, that couple there. But I think those are 2 really good clicks at the end. Mike Williams can't be going this late. This is inexcusable. At 31, man, for me, I'm putting Mike Williams probably ahead of DJ Moore in this contest. just that matchup's just it's too juicy not to get involved in. All right, so we have Eckler goes off the board at 10. This is probably too late. Lamar off the board. What do we want to do? AJ Brown versus the Pats. Baltimore versus Houston. Thinky. I don't love this game script for Philly at New England. I kind of want to just go Calvin Ridley. I wanted to go one running back here, maybe with Josh Jacobs. And then I sort of want to set up a Seattle stack with Geno and then like Tyler Higbee as my tight end. Just completely go way off the slate here. I think we're going way off the slate. Ben, welcome to the live stream. Adam put the eyes on Godwin. J5704 just saying random places still. Hello from Albania, he says. Last week it was Switzerland. World Traveler. J5704, World Traveler. This is the Scroll the F Down contest, if you guys don't already know. Of course, you want to find correlation. Mims would be a crazy pick. I think Mims probably out of the question. Sutton, definitely not out of the question. He doesn't go drafted here. Blocked? Underdog blocked on the work Wi-Fi? No, you got to disconnect from the Wi-Fi then, my friend. You got to disconnect from the Wi-Fi, my friend. Hotspot. You're the man, ER7. I'm glad you guys are all out here. 27 people in the live stream, 28 people. I appreciate you guys coming out. Olave at 20. We're going to do a couple, then we'll talk about it. I want to know where can I find these? Like, where can I find the ones I draft? Do they go under... Do they go under live? Live best ball, I think, right? And then NFL? No. Daily? Let me know where I can find the ones I drafted. We might just go way off the... Did someone go Geno? No. Okay. I'm losing it. Could go T-Law here too. Like, this could easily be the T-Law squad. I just don't... It's fine. Like, you're probably not going to have a bring back. When you go Trevor Lawrence, you're probably not going to have a bring back. Let's kind of switch. We can go T-Law here. I don't think that's a big deal. We can go T-Law. I don't want to double stack T-Law though. So let me find a... Let's go T-Law. I don't mind going like naked Higbee though, too. Like Seattle. Does anyone remember Seattle last year? You just started every single tight end. When you saw Seattle on the schedule, just start that tight end. Not expecting huge upgrades for Seattle's defense this season. Christian Watson or DK. I think either one's fine here. Let's go DK. And then tight end. Basically, I'm just going to be picking tight ends last in this. Like, probably every single time. Probably every single time this week. TJ Hawk expected to play week 1. I mean, it's a good thing. He probably will play, but... Hey, Sed's in the draft with us. Let's take a peek. I don't mind Pitts this week, but I'm sure everyone's seen Pitts, his higher lower on Pick'ems. It's like 31 yards. Like, who knows? At tight end, you're looking for that 1-2 touchdown game and 4 catches and 60 yards. That's like a friggin' tits game for a tight end. Goddard, like New England's relatively good against the tight end. I'm probably going to be staying away from Goddard in this contest. Like, Philly's going to steamroll the Pats anyways. Just likely they're going to have time of possession. This last pick has to be a tight end. You know, of course, we could go Ingram if we get sniped on Higbee. Like I said, I don't want to do too many double stacks just because parlays seem to hit these the best. Who's not being started? Hunter Henry. Cole Kmet. Like, Gerald Everett is super live. You want to know what? I might like the Gerald Everett pick for this team best because we're getting a small piece of this game. And we're basically leveraging Keenan Allen, Mike Williams, Quentin Johnston, Eckler. So I might like this one the best. I like either or. Really do. Let's go. Let's stick to our guns. Let's stick to our guns with Higbee here. But I do like the Everett play, especially like if you don't have a piece of that offense, or maybe you want to do like stacks and double stacks. Like I think are best with either a pass catching running back or a tight end with a receiver. Those are going to be the ones I'm most excited for. Let's jump into another one real quick. I'm probably going to end up doing 40 to 50 of these a week. Let's see if anyone snuck in here with us. Bunch of sickos. We get the 6th spot. Cruz is in here again. Fancy Wizard King. It's a mouthful. It's a mouthful. There's no way Hill falls to us, right? So I have one of my first teams I drafted was Hill. Let me see. I just posted it in the Discord. If you guys aren't already in the Discord, Fantasy Football Heaven, fully recommend it, and everyone that's in there would recommend it as well. I can confidently say that. Justin Herbert, Eckler, Tyreek Hill, Keenan Allen, Chris Olave, TJ Hawkinson. Just got some crazy falling values. Chris Olave at 34 in that draft. So just a quick tip. The 2 best times to draft these Battle Royales are on Contest Open before the ADPs have moved around. You can sort of get whatever combination you want to some extent. And then Contest Fill. That last morning or night before it fills, and people have done 50, 60, 80, 100 of these, and they're just reaching to get different combinations, and you're there just with your big spoon out, scooping the ADP values and getting different without having to reach. So you're getting values that and combinations that people couldn't get. Give us Eckler here. Oh, let's go. I think Eckler Herbert is going to be a pretty common click here. But can we, dudes? I feel like we have to go. We have to go Jalen Hurts here. No, we're not gonna. We don't have to. We don't have to. Let's do one of these. We can go Chubb with it. We can do a single stack with Higgins with our next pick. I want to go double RB here. RB, like, I'd much rather one of these RBs over the receivers, I feel like. So let's bring in Chubb here. He was on the 25K team. Let's go. Josh is in this draft. I'm going to guess your name is Coop. Big brain. Big brain. Gets Herbert with Hill. A lot of fun. The fact that Mike Williams goes so late, it's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. You can just get Mike Williams in any draft you want. 31.7. Like, I could understand if he was hurt. You know, he's coming off a game with an injury. But, like, this is week 1 Mike Williams. Before the rookie gets a chance to earn that big role. And even then, he's just going to take it from Joshua Palmer as a third wide receiver. So, Peanut Butter Waivers, welcome to the live stream. And you Collector, welcome to the live stream. Says, join the Discord, getting close to 1,000 subs. Yeah, we're crushing. Yeah, he brings in Mike Williams super early here. This is what I'm talking about. I think these ADPs are going to change very, very quickly. We can do this mini stack here with T. Higgs. We can't go running back. I don't like how it doesn't exit out for you. So, like, you can't go more than 2 running backs. Interesting. I wouldn't go Keenan Allen with this team. We get to double tap here. Is there a tight? We're getting Mark Andrews at 18. Let's bring him in here. I'm not going to have too much Mark Andrews, but if he falls 4 or 5 picks, that seems like a time to click him. And yeah, maybe we go Waddle here for the bring back. I like this better. I like this better for the mini. And then we're probably just going to go like, we can do anything here, really. I like Geno this week against the Rams. We can also go Tua with this team. And we could go Lockett if we need to. If we don't get Tua, we'll go Geno and Lockett. If we get Tua, we'll probably go Christian Watson. We'll see who falls to us. Like, I'm assuming these guys are going to be gone. Jahan Dotson's a nice one-off this week. Too bad, because I think, like, if Kupp was starting week 1, could you sneak a Stafford lineup into this? Like, I think it would be completely viable against Seattle. But without Kupp, cross him off the board. Van Jefferson is a sneaky one-off here. Not that I'm going to add too many Van Jeffy lineups in here, but he's about as deep as I would go if Kupp doesn't start week 1. You're going to see people do it. You're going to see people do it. Let me link the Discord. We have so many people sweating this season. Howell Dotson for all the money. It's super cool. I would be more on board with Howell if Terry McLaurin didn't get hurt. He'd be completely viable. With Terry McLaurin, if he'd not expected to play, I don't think week 1, so not seen in practice yesterday. It's not good. I think it's I think it's gonna be a little more tough for Howell to get there without Terry. Could he? Sure, but I'd rather just the one-off of Dotson than do that. Wow. Sheesh. We get Cooper to come back to us. I don't love that because you're basically betting. We already betting on Chubb to put probably 1 or 2 in. A game blow up. Do we have Higgs? Yeah, we can only do 1 receiver. Let's go Tua here. We have the bring back with Eckler. I think this is a nice build so far. And T. Higgs for the bring back in this game. And now we have a really, really nice looking lineup. Correlated makes sense. Mini stacks, bring backs. Just the Carfax. Yeah, this was a fun one. This was a fun one. Oh, we're building masterpieces already. It's early into the season, folks. It's early. We're jumping into one more, and then we'll go over a couple other things, and we'll probably do a few more on the live stream. See if you guys can get into these with us. Biggest thing is, like, if you notice, like, I'm not worried about anyone else's lineup. Now, I was on the back end anyways, so are we trying to push players still? Yes. Short Gamer TV, Nate's, and Too Cool Rad, Fancy Dysfunctional in this draft with us. This will be a fun one. We'll have to mark this one down. Pick 4. I like pick 4 a lot. I would probably go something like this for my rankings for week 1. If you want Lamar, obviously, it looks like you have to pay up. I don't necessarily think Justin Herbert should be going this late. and his receivers probably go too late in the highest scoring point total game on the slate. So if that makes any sense, but the Seahawks Rams had the third highest point total game at 47.5. I expect that to go down if if Kupp doesn't play. But that was a sneaky game because Geno Smith is outside the top 6 QBs. Having the third highest point total and being the favored team, that was like a no-brainer game. I still like it. I'm still going to have some Geno stacks, but yeah, Kupp bring back for that really, if he doesn't play, it kind of ruins all the fun. Give us Hill here. Yeah, it's smart. Maybe this is where we go, Lamar. I don't like it. It doesn't feel right. It doesn't feel right. I think I have a plan. I want to go Herbert here. I'm going crazy. I have a plan. Is that plan going to work? I mean, probably not, but I have a plan. See if anyone can guess it. There's just one player in my mind. Where does Waddle go? Waddle goes way too late. Like, these ADPs are crazy. I might do all 40 today. I want to do 40 to 50 a week. That's the goal. And then the following week, I'll review my best scoring team. We'll review the worst scoring team. And then we'll draft some more. Oh, sick. So we do get CMC here. It's basically like we drafted CMC at 4 and got Herbert at ADP here, basically at 9. I'm cool with that. Devontae Adams goes way too late in this too. At 24, he should probably be going before Amari Cooper and AJ Brown. ER7, thank you for the super chat, my man. Says 10-man PPR. I got pick 1, 2 wide receiver, 2 running back, 1 flex. I can't make up my mind. Ooh. For me, it's Justin Jefferson just because of how steady. There's less injury risk at the receiver position. I get the 2 running backs. You want to push up running backs in 2 wide receiver leagues. You want to push up running backs. I'm still probably going Justin Jefferson because it's only a 10-man league. There will be more RBs available. I wouldn't mind if my second running back's even like someone like J.K. Dobbins or something. Oh, Mike Willie gets pulled right under the rug. It's okay. We'll go Keenan Allen, who finished as wide receiver 1 overall week 18 against Denver. Put us in the money. Put us at the top. Henry goes to 17. At New Orleans. Mark Andrews, Lamar. It's a fun one from Nate. Don't think we have to overthink this one, fellas. I don't think we have to overthink this one. Could go Waddle here. We're overthinking it already. Let's bet on this game. This is the highest point total game. I do think these ADPs have to change. Let's see what we can do for... I wouldn't mind if this is like our Gerald Everett team. If we don't bring in Waddle here and we go Devonta Adams, we can easily bring in someone like Raheem Mostert. Low owned. Likely going to get, 15 touches week 1? I think that's a pretty safe number with A-Chain still battling that injury. Jeff Wilson on the IR. This is probably going to be one of my secret clicks of the week. Raheem Mostert. You heard it here first. Slap a like if that just kind of zapped into your brain like, oh yeah, that could be a good click this week. Maybe it busts. Maybe it doesn't. It's a good way to leverage this game too, right? Say you don't have any pieces of this game. Maybe Miami gets it in on the ground twice. Maybe you get a little mini stack between like Mike Williams and Mostert late. And that's how you get a piece of that highest scoring point total of the week. I think that's fun. Honestly, don't we just want to start running backs against the Houston defense? Isn't that why everyone's drafting Derrick Henry? Like the only reason? I thought a pretty good point on Derrick Henry. If you guys haven't drafted your redraft leagues yet, he's someone I'd much rather just like target in a trade, like week 10, after I know he's still healthy at that point, to focus his playoff schedule rather than kind of draft him and assume that risk. Higbee's sharp. How do I find these? After this draft's done, I want to find, where do these go? We're going to do the double, but I think it's more viable when it's a tight end rather than a receiver. Two receivers in the same team. Completed, right? Main slate. It's right here. This was fun. Where is it? Two tags. Is this the double doink? No, this. All right. So when the double doink came out, did this happen to anyone else? When the double doink came out, did anyone else think it was Battle Royale and you just start ripping drafts? Because that's what happened to me, and I got super excited about a team and then realized it's just a double up tournament. Like that's the most. That was pretty lame. That was pretty lame. Here it is. This team is Fire Flames. Now we have the running back and receiver, but we have Hill too. It's like this one's getting starred. With Olave, 10 picks after ADP, with Hawkinson, like 8 picks after ADP. That was a fun one. Who are some of your favorite stacks, guys? Is it going to be Tua, Hill? Are you going to go on the Chargers side of things? Monday, NFL weeks. What if we go to rankings? I wonder if they have the rankings up yet. They should, right? Yeah, they do. So if I was going to draft this, it would likely look something like this for this week. Receivers. Ridley against Indy, like this is most likely a good game script for Jacksonville. In Indy probably not able to sustain long drives. Jacksonville should have the ball for a good portion of this game. The Amari Cooper, Cleveland versus Cincy. This one's going to be interesting. I don't think a lot of people will stack this game. So look at the first 6 QBs, right? 3, 4, 5, 6. These are the main 6 that are going off the board every single draft. So if you just make a stack outside of these top 6 who are drafted, 70% of the time? Let's say 50% of the time. People just go based off the first 6. That means once every draft, someone is selecting one of these QBs. Just one. I think a main one's going to be Geno Smith, Tua. Those two are good. Kirk Cousins, I think he's just more of a floor guy. Last year, the stats proved it. He finishes a top 3 QB just once in all his starts, but he was a top 12 QB very often because he has a high floor. He just doesn't have that high ceiling. Where Tua, we've seen throw for 400 plus yards, multiple touchdowns to both receivers. Deshaun Watson, I think you could do a stack around Deshaun Watson. Now, do I want, maybe if I get a chase start, I'll look for Amari Cooper. I'm not going to want Nick Chubb and Deshaun Watson most likely until I see that they're going to use him as a pass catching running back. Until we see that, and until I see Deshaun Watson consistently dump off the ball to him, I'm not going to want Chubb on my Deshaun Watson teams. Not for week 1. Could it hit week 1? Anything could hit week 1. But I think this one's interesting. If you start with Chase, maybe you look to do a Deshaun Watson team with Amari Cooper, maybe with David Njoku, and you fade Amari Cooper, whatever it may be. Geno Smith. Lockett doesn't even get drafted. I think Metcalf wasn't drafted in a couple of ours so far as well. Nate says Tua, Hill, Eckler feels great. Yeah, that sounds fun. I'm definitely going to want the Tua side as well. Yeah, Too Cool Rad says I prefer the Tua side. Very interesting. Yeah, that 100% could hit. Like, very, very easily. That game script, I'm going to want to probably build 30% of my games, maybe 50% of my games with at least one piece in that game. I think if you're fading that game completely, it's going to be hard to finish in the top 5%. Top 5, let's say. Not top 5%, like the top 5. Fading the highest point total on the week, I don't love it because the other games and game scripts and matchups, they just don't really come close on paper. So I can read some of them to you guys. LA Chargers, they have a 27-point implied total out of the 51 points. Makes them 3-point favorites over the Dolphins. The next highest scoring team is the Ravens, just behind them. And then after that, it's Seattle. It's the Seahawks. Lockett's going undrafted. Metcalf goes late. Walker, I believe, was drafted in each of those. And then after that, it's the Vikings. So maybe we do have to mix. I wouldn't do Madison against Tampa Bay. But JJ at 1 definitely makes sense. Bengals. Here, let me pull this up so everyone can see it. So here's the implied totals for these teams. And then here's the game totals. This game is Thursday night. Don't pay attention to this one. This one is on Thursday night. I'm right here. So Dolphins versus Chargers, 51-point total. Chargers suspected to score 27 of those. So I think it's important to look at this every single week. Look at the totals, and then look at matchups. Look at the defenses. Who's weak against the QB? Who's weak? Who gives up a lot of points to wide receivers, to running backs? All that, I think, is important for these. Try to find that one player that can have that spike week. Not someone that's just completely far-fetched. Like, example, Kenneth Gainwell, week 1, pretty far-fetched, in my opinion, especially against New England. Now maybe they run out the fourth quarter and maybe he's the guy you need. Gross. I try to keep it reasonable with these because at the end of the day, like, you want every lineup to count and you want it to have the most upside, right? So Philly with 4 starting running backs. Sure, you can target Swift, but I'm not going RB3 on any team, on any offense. So I really want to make each one of these count and make them make sense. If I'm betting on a game that's outside of the top 6 game scripts, I want to stack and I want to bring back. And that just sort of goes back to when we took down week 18. We had a stack and we had our bring back. And it wasn't a game that was in the top 6, right? Russell Wilson, Denver versus the Chargers with Keenan Allen, and the bring back was Jerry Jeudy. One off, Nick Chubb's just, you can one off him. You can one off him this week. You can one off him next week. Chase has a one off, and he didn't even do that well. But we outscored everyone by 6+ points. And that's, you don't see that. You don't see that very often. 6+ point win. So find that QB. And I would probably allocate maybe 15%, 20% of my lineups to games like that. not doing it every single time. But I do think a Geno Smith double stack could get there if you're betting on that game, and then like a Higbee bring back. I think that's fun. But in double stacks, I'm probably doing 10% of my lineups total. Again, 2 out of 18 first place finishes last year had a double stack. It's too much. It's too much. Tyreek Hill already jumped Lamar. And this is where we're saying the best 2 times to draft these are at contest open when the ADPs are fresh, and then contest fill right before it fills, that last 3 to 5%. People already have drafted every single team they thought they could have. They're starting to reach, and now you're getting different combinations. This guy's probably not even going to go JJ first. He does. I'm going Hill over Chase right now. Just because probably the Burrow injury is sort of doing it for me right now. And then this matchup being the highest point total, obviously, like we've said. But on track for week 1, Joe Burrow is. It's a viable game stack. But if I think Mike Williams is going to move up, if I think some of these other players are going to move up in ADP, I want to sort of get these teams now, and then I'll draft the Jamar Chase teams later. Uh-oh. Slow draft. 10 minutes left on a pick. I see Curtis Samuel. Is he a go? What do we need? 4 running back team. Hyper fragile build. This is a puppy 3. Eckler, Barkley, Jacobs, and Raheem Mostert. We're going to try it. We're going to try it hyper fragile with those 4 running backs. I need a tight end here. I just have Goddard, and Knox is on the board, so we'll bring in Knox. I have a little eliminator too, of course. Pull up the draft board. We see CMC go at 5. Justin Herbert paired with Mark Andrews. Very interesting. We'll bring in Pat Freiermuth for that. These hour clocks and the slows. I only have like 6 slows going on, so it's not a big deal. But I could imagine if people had like 100 slows right now and they're just constantly on their phone. I feel for you. I feel for you. Let's do something different. Let's live a little bit. Justin Fields can break any slate. Let's live a little bit. Interesting. What do we want to do here? Green Bay bringbacks. We can do a last pick, Christian Watson. Let's go Jacobs here. This is what I'm thinking right now with this team. Komet, Sutton. This is what comes to mind. Justin Fields with 80 rushing yards, 2 rushing touchdowns, 180 passing yards, 2 passing touchdowns. 1 to Cole Kmet, 1 to DJ Moore. DJ Moore doesn't even get drafted. He does. He's here. He's actually further up than I thought he would be. This is a fun double click. I would probably be doing this with Mike Williams every single time instead of Keenan Allen, now that I think about it. Okay. We should just be able to get these 2 guys for wherever we want. Fields, Jacobs, Tyreek Hill. We have our mini stack for this game, so we do we do get a piece of this game. Justin Fields obviously has that rushing upside, can spike in front of both of these QBs. Only Greens, welcome to the live stream, says, is trading Bijan a bad move? Well, who are you trading him for? We have the Hawk falling, too. We have the Hawk falling. I don't think I can get both of these guys, though, obviously. Let's go Hawk here. Let's go Hawk. Hawkinson at 26. I think once we get the news that he's for sure playing, he has to go. He probably has to go in this range. Thinking of Devontae or Garrett with James Conner or Dameon Pierce. It depends. Like, it depends on what your team is. It depends on how many players you're starting. I never want to trade one superstar for two really good players unless I need the depth. I really want to make my team as strong as possible for that week 17 matchup specifically. So give us DJ Moore here first off. The slide? The dream? The 10-pick dream? Oh, man. Oh, that's good. That's good. That's real good. But yeah, only Greens. Reason being, so like if you're starting 3 receivers and 2 running backs every week, maybe you have 1 flex, maybe you have more than 1 flex. That's where I think you can start to trade that 1 superstar for 2, for like, that's a wide receiver 1 and an RB1. Dameon Pierce probably close to the back end, RB1, RB2. But Devontae Adams, definitely wide receiver 1. You have CD, Scary Terry, Odell, Derrick Henry, Hopin Hyatt. Hoping Hyatt does good. Yeah, I'm gonna sit on Bijan. I also don't like to make trades right after my draft. I want to be confident in my draft. At least give it a little bit of time to see if you were right with that draft pick before you trade him. Obviously, it could be too late, but if you're not confident in the Bijan pick, that can't be your whole team. Odell's your wide receiver 3. Maybe you should do it. Maybe you should. Guys, if you haven't already, go down, smash the like on the live stream. You know we appreciate that. Let's take a peek at this. Which team do we like the best? Team 1, we don't know what his last pick is. I think that's just an underdog glitch. We had Hill, Fields, Jacobs, Mike Williams, TJ Hawk, and DJ Moore. TJ Hawkinson's the tight end 2 on the week. We get him as the 3rd tight end off the board and in the second to last round. What? That's crazy. Chase, Nick Chubb, Calvin Ridley, J.K. Dobbins, Evan Ingram, and Joe Burrow. Let's make sense of this one. So he's got his stack with Burrow. He got his bring back with Nick Chubb. Jacksonville double stack without Trevor Lawrence doesn't make a lot of sense. Doesn't make a lot of sense. This should have been, shit. So Trevor Lawrence went at 29. Naked Trevor Lawrence team also doesn't make any sense. So like, you can't finish in the top 1% of 1% drafting a pocket passing QB without any of the pass catchers. Like, that's going to be so thin. It's already so thin to win one of these. That just makes it nearly impossible. Team 6, Justin Herbert, Mark Andrews, Keenan Allen, Waddle. So we got the stack here. Am I crazy, or should this just be Mike? Should this be Mike Williams every single time instead of Keenan Allen? Like, Keenan Allen is the floor guy in this offense. This should be, and Mike Williams is ADP is like 31. It's 31. He hasn't jumped up in the air and landed on his ankle yet. I'm probably taking him here a lot. he's that upside guy. I think it's interesting, like Christian Watson doesn't go drafted. You have Romeo Dobbs, who's also banged up right now, too. So, shit. I think we got to take a couple shots on Christian Watson late, too. Devonta Smith here at 30. I like that a lot. And then he gets a little single stack. He gets Stevenson, Devonta Smith. I like what he did here. That was a fun one here. It's good to see how other people draft, and you do see some of the sharp, just playbook, textbook draft styles, mini stacks, stacks with bringbacks, all that. I think I like Dobbins this week, guys. I wouldn't be surprised if Dobbins is on the winning team playing Houston. Bijan, Derrick Henry, Goddard, Odell. So this is a fun one. Just a random Odell click to go with Lamar. It's a one-off, but it's stacked. I don't think you're going to see a lot of Odell. You'll probably see more Zay Flowers. ER7 says Keenan Allen can put up 0 points or score 2-3 touchdowns in a game, honestly. It's true. Josh says, I don't know why you'd ever pick Keenan over Mike Will in this. 100%. I 100% agree with that. Like, Mike Williams is a blow-up candidate, or he goes for 15 yards on one catch. Like, there's no in between. Against Miami week 1, like, you need to score top 1% of 1% of 40,000 lineups. That's Mike Williams. 45,000. That's Mike Williams. This contest is named after people like that. Like Christian Watson. I can't believe Christian Watson goes undrafted. Especially, he should be the main focus in the offense in the passing game week 1 if Romeo Dobbs isn't good to go. All right. It's time. Look at these other drafts. You got the double doink, which is just a double up. You have Primetime Palooza, and let's go over this one. This is a qualifier. Let me see. Underdog dropped. So this is heavily, like, where is it? The rake I saw, I don't know if it was correct. They took it down, but it said 73% or something on the rake. But this gets you invited to a live final. And let me see that live final, because I think they dropped the prizes. Oh, it's a video. Listen what's at stake. The Dog Bowl. Top 3 players each week, so 18 weeks. Oh, first 12 weeks. Qualify to go to Miami. Okay. You could bring a guest with you. Who's coming with me, boys? Who's coming with me? We're going to Miami with 10 G's. We're going to need to both win because we're going to spend more than that in Miami, guaranteed. Let's do one of these for fun. This is a 12-person draft. How many? Come on. No. All right. It's not a full. J Timber's in here. What's going on, J Tims? Oh, this is a fun room. We get the 12 spot. So you start 1 receiver, 2 receivers, 1 running back, 1 flex, 1 tight end, 1 QB. And how many rounds is it? 6 rounds. Okay. I could have probably just looked. Oh, there's no bench. What the? And this is just week 1, right? Yeah, this is just week 1. Here's the matchups. Okay. Very interesting. So we get pick 11. What do we want to do here? Lamar goes at so interesting. Chase goes at 1. Oh man. Come on, man. No way, man. This one is called the Dog Bowl Qualifier. I believe it's like legit just like a party at Nick Rudman's house. Like that's, unless that's a complete rumor. I think I saw one Bad Bros tweet that out. Unless it's a rumor, that'd be hysterical. Either way, we're going. We're going. I'll probably just throw one in just for fun every week. Uh-oh. We see Eckler go off at 4, and then I had CMC and then Lamar, right? He goes Lamar here. I think that's fine. Carlos says, through 10 drafts, I have Dobbins in 6. Yeah, I think that's sharp, Carlos. I really do. You're 7. I love your Des Bryant poster behind you. It's not Des Bryant. Prime time. Welcome to the live stream. I will not be drafting in this. I got hyped for nothing. Yeah, I'm just gonna throw one in. Like I don't think it's anything to get too excited about. But to have one horse in the race, why not? Why not? You got to give him credit for thinking of new things, though. Just, what do you think my wife's going to say when I tell her, like, hey, babe, like, I won a contest to go to Miami. And no, we're not going to drink. We're not going to do that stuff. Oh, those are so my college days. I don't know. Maybe I'll just give it to one of you guys. One of you guys can go represent us in Miami. We'll raffle it off in the Discord. It pays to be off in that Discord, man. I'm telling you. Let's get the link in the live chat. I know some of you guys in the chat right now are not in the Discord. Doing yourself a disservice. Give us Fields here. Give us Fields. Or we can go the Tua route. But with Tua, I'd probably want Hill over Waddle. I don't mind the start. Let's just do something crazy, right? We have to finish in the top 3. Yeah, no, this is crazy enough. This is crazy enough. I want Watson on this team. Like, that's for certain. But there's 12 teams. So to get Justin Fields at 12 feels pretty good, I think. It's super deep at wide receiver, too. We can go Nick Chubb here. It's super deep at wide receiver. Like, I'm not worried about that. At 36, like, you likely want to be drafting here at, like, in the middle of the draft. I think those are going to be the stronger teams. You can get a crazy value on, like, Mike Williams going at 30. Damn, I'm not even going to get Christian Watson on the way back around. That would be tragic. That's the whole reason I went Justin Fields, is for that bring back on Watson. We're going to dig deep. Not this. Alec Pierce going before Mike Evans? The fuck? What? What am I looking at? Dude, George Pickens not going drafted. Like, ever. No one's going down this far. Except for us. Misses practice. Tyquan Thornton on the IR. Oh my god, man. Oh my god. Kendrick Bourne to the moon. This is basically as far as you can go. Like Mac Hollins. Mingo's a fine click at the end. We'll see how deep it gets. We're not going to get that deep, but we have some options for one-offs that no one's going to click except for us because we're sickos. 6th round draft. Feels like it's going super slow. I know I took my time on mine, but I'm also on the turn. I have to think about what's going to come back. Super deep at receiver. You only need to start 2. I definitely think I needed an RB here. Joe Mixon goes 15 picks before ADP. I mean, not that ADP truly matters all that much, but we'll see what he's up to with that click. It's an interesting one, to say the least. After this, we'll jump into some more Battle Royales for sure. But if you guys are new to the channel, we are going to be doing a 24-hour live stream. If we can reach 1,000 subscribers before NFL kickoff, it's still possible. 40% of the watchers are just watchers. They're there. They linger. I appreciate you. But if you enjoy the stream, go down and just hit that juicy sub button for us. This way I can take Tuesday night off of work. We can do a 24-hour live stream, a lot of private drafts, and probably a lot of DraftKings, to be honest. And Puppy 4 when? Puppy 4 when? It's coming. Tight end. I'll probably just last pick a tight end, to be honest. 61, like, there should be no team with 2 tight ends. Like, I don't see anyone drafting double elite, which is good. So, like, give me Higbee as, like, a last click here. Or even Everett. Like, if Everett goes at the bottom, like, this is the perfect leverage pick on this game. Freiermuth, this, I don't know, San Fran's kind of scary of a defense. Matthew Green, welcome to the live stream. Says, big lurker here, but subbed. Too much good content to not love the streams. I really do appreciate that, man. I really do. Keeps me coming back, keeps me hyped up. I love that. I love that. Thank you. No, we're not going to gamble on week 13. Oh, God. Oh, God. T. Higgs. Let's pull up the board. Double RB start. Mike Williams is still on the board, which is just insane. DK Metcalf. We're going to be looking at, like, Lockett. Lockett will be up here. I'm cool with Dotson up here. Obviously, I don't think Mike Williams. Like, there's no way, right? There's no way. I don't mind fading this game, this Philly game. Excuse me. Just slap the mic. Just like you should slap the like. Eckler, Devontae Adams, Tyreek Hill, Cooper, and Trevor Lawrence. This is just a freaking close your eyes type start. Maybe he's going Zay Jones, last pick. Metcalf, J.K. Dobbs, and Justin Jefferson. Not a lot going on there for correlation. This guy is clearly trying to work the double with Joe Burrow, which he should be able to get, but there's some teams just doing crazy shit right now, so maybe not. Maybe not. Matthew says, badge bro, but donating money at this point. Needed to learn from the best of them. We need more badge people. More badges equals more drafts. They need to actually add, like, other tiers and other awards. It's so easy, right? And, like, people, they want to acquire that next badge for whatever reason to flex. But, like, you would think that'd be easy to add? I don't know. Give us Mike Williams, man. This guy doesn't have a receiver. Like, there's no way, right? If we get by him, I feel pretty good. Oh, no, I don't. Justin Herbert's right here. You could double stack that game so easy. You could double stack this game. Don't do it. You want Aaron Jones. Someone sell him Aaron Jones, quick. What's the sell on Aaron Jones here? He was catching passes with Jordan Love in the offseason. Fuck. Oh, all right. We get the double tap. Ah, gross. Even if DJ Moore was there, I'm probably going Moore and Watson. But this does allow us to go Komet as a tight end too. So let's bring in Watson here. I think that's definitely needed. We're betting on that game script anyways. Higgins obviously gone. Tyler Lockett or Jahan Dotson. I'm cool with both. Both at home. Let's go with the higher scoring game. Seattle versus Rams. It also allows us to go like Tyler Higbee too. So we can go Cole Kmet. We can go naked Justin Fields. Cole Kmet, we can go Higbee. Higbee goes at 38. it's it's not the craziest. It's really not. So 12 tight ends are getting drafted. 3 of them are off the board. So 9 more teams need tight ends. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So we'll get one of these 9 guys. We'll get the next 2 picks. We definitely should be able to get one of these too. With this many on the board still, I don't mind the Higbee over some of these guys. Click because of the matchup against Seattle. Pat Fry off the board. Kittle off the board. Now do we start to sweat a little bit? I don't know. We see Eric go Cooper Kupp here at 32. I don't mind taking a shot like that too on Cooper Kupp. Let's go, Matt. Matt says, won a daily best ball draft earlier in January. Literally my first best ball draft too. Done better than that in your NFL best ball teams. 4K winnings. Congrats, dude. That's sick. That is sick. Let's go, Cal. Good luck yourself. We have 900 drafts to sort of keep track of. And I actually made something in the Discord for everyone. It should be under the cheat sheet section. And it's basically every single tournament, the advance rates, the amount of entrants, the prizes for first, second, and third. It's just a spreadsheet for you to put in your data. Now, I didn't make it's not a smart data sheet. Like if you put in your total amount of drafts, it doesn't automatically calculate it. It's super easy to do though. All the contests were in on Underdog, and we're still jumping into some on DK for season long. They released like a 3 max $12 entry. They released a single entry yesterday or the day before. That's a $15 tournament. Those are fun, man. But like, goddamn, drafting on DK is just, God forbid you leave the app for 3 seconds and then you have to like completely throw the app away, re-download it just to get back into the draft. That's the biggest pain in the ass. Like the UI sucks. The tournaments they're releasing are great. UI, it's much more enjoyable to draft on Underdog. If you guys aren't already drafting on Underdog, which I'm sure everyone is, code Pounders for a first time 100% match on your first deposit up to $100. Put 100 in, you get 200 right on the spot. Code Pounders. We had it changed for the hype. For the hype. Geno Smith off the board. Okay. I like it. We'll see if he does a bring back. We'll see if he goes like Van Jefferson at 71. Van Jefferson's in play in this. Is like Mooney in play? I'd probably just rather have Komet, to be honest. Like, sure, these guys are definitely in play. Mike Evans is definitely in play. Doesn't look like he's going to be returning to Tampa Bay after this season. Not a real surprise there. Oh, we're down deep. This is where we found Pickens. Like, I just want to go Pickens because he's so far down. Like, no one's clicking Pickens. People are clicking Joshua Palmer before George Pickens. Are we seeing this right? Is this thing broken? Who else do we have down here? I'll get to your comment in a second, Cal. I'm just mind blown. Just absolutely mind blown. Rashid Shaheed's a fun click. But can he spike in front of like these guys? I doubt it. I doubt it. He's more like break one long play for like a 60-yard touchdown. Typically, lightning doesn't strike twice for him. Cal asks, what are your thoughts on Jamal Williams for week 1? Don't know where he goes in drafts, but seems to be in for a bell cow role. I know. Miller. Oh my God, the Sutton click out of nowhere. Out of nowhere. All right, it's George Pickens season, I think. Let me think about this. It's George Pickens season. Don't try to convince me otherwise. Pat, stay focused. People hate Najee. This is disrespectful. Tajay Spears is being drafted before Najee. Jamal Williams, like Tennessee. So week 1 against Tennessee, the Titans gave up the least amount of rushing yards to opposing teams last season. So I don't really like Jamal Williams that much for week 1. We are going Cole Kmet here. I think I'm just cool bringing in Pickens. Cincy, it would be like a Tyler Boyd as a bring back. I don't love that. We could do like a Van Jefferson bring back. Van Jefferson over George Pickens. Like, George Pickens already not being drafted. Are we going to Miami or what? Are we going to Miami, Van? Do the things that no one else does. Do the things that no one else does. Yeah, Miller, I think he's going to have the highest upside for the end of the season. In roller coaster of emotions, because I'm a Miller drafter. Ever since the big board, like 18% in the 18th round. Man. Seems like they rushed him back. Same thing with Cooper Kupp. Seems like they rushed him back, and now, who knows? They're probably out twice as long. Kamara out the first 3 weeks. Yeah, I mean, I just don't like the matchup week 1 against Tennessee. Jamal, there's no doubt that he's in a prime spot for those first couple weeks. Hurts to say. It hurts to say. It hurts to say we just went off the rails. We just went off the rails. But no one's going to do that. I didn't even think I was going to do that. Do some crazy shit on this channel. I mean, if Cooper Kupp doesn't play, though, like Van Jeffy's wide receiver 1 on the team. All right. What's this one? Primetime Palooza Ooza. This one's 11,000. Oh, so it's just the Thursday night, Sunday night. I don't love these slates. I think there is a higher probability for people to maybe work together. So I sort of stay away from the single game slates, the 2-game slates. Just comes down to like, do you get the right amount of ADP value sometimes? And I don't like playing that game. That's like you have to draft a certain amount to get certain combinations. I don't know. I'd rather just target these. Waiting on 4 people for a Battle Royale if you want to jump in here with us. Some of these one-offs, though, like Dotson, Dameon Pierce, Cam Akers, Mike Evans, Tyler Lockett, Pickens. Where's ETN go? Is ETN being drafted? I think he is, right? Yeah, he's in the top. He's in the top 36. He's being drafted. We get the 1 spot. Oh, baby. Pounders draft. Facey Dysfunctional. Nick in the 5 spot. Jeff in the 6 spot. This name looks familiar. I don't believe 2. If you're in the 2 spot or the 4 spot, let me know in the live stream. We're going JJ. Is this a Baker Mayfield team? No, I'm just kidding. I can't. Sorry, I went rogue. That's the gone rogue pounder symbol right there. Let's bring in JJ, and then we're picking at 12 and 13. Fancy Dysfunctional going rogue himself. Who just seems the most wrongly priced? Like Justin Herbert feels like he should be going sooner. Like this feels like for either Tua or Herbert or both, like a pretty locked in 30-point game. Unless the touchdowns go in on the ground, right? But Eckler rushed for less than 1,000 yards last year. Finished as the number 1 overall flex. That's how involved he was in the passing game. So obviously he's a red zone threat too. And I don't mind pairing Herbert with Eckler. Oh yeah. We are flying now. We are flying. No way. Nick comes in here with his big swinging spoon and gets CMC and Eckler. What? All right. I'm sending you $2.50 on Venmo. We're splitting that team. We're splitting that team. Oh, that's sick. Oh, that's a sick start. Give us what we want, though. Oh, man. You can't not go Herbert here if you're him. No way. Okay. Honestly, I don't mind it. It's a lot of teams are probably just going to auto pick Herbert there. And a lot of teams are probably going to go Waddle as the bring back in this game. So maybe we shake that up. We're doing something interesting. It's just crazy because, like, you don't know, like, based off ADP, stuff can fall and sort of change your plan. You could have a plan like, oh, I'm going to do this guy as a bring back, and, you know, he could be pretty far-fetched, maybe someone that goes after ADP, but then you get one of those guys you like in a matchup you like as a falling ADP, and it's like, well, there goes that plan, right? Yeah, this is a fun start from Nick. Not even thinking about it. Just going best available wide receiver. Ooh, okay. Okay, so I think this one might be a little thin with Allen and Eckler. Just because you're betting on Eckler to not score passing touchdowns when you also bring in Keenan Allen, because how would you get there without Herbert? And then if Austin Eckler gets the touchdowns on the ground, then Keenan Allen isn't scoring. So they're sort of like a bet against one another, but it can happen. Like that's the game where that narrative it's definitely viable. JK Alex, welcome to the live stream. Would you trade James Conner and Judy for Jahmyr Gibbs in full point PPR? Yeah, I would. Full point PPR. Injury to Judy, soft tissue injury. Who do we just like the best, right? Is there someone I have to have at tight end? Let's go DK Metcalf with this one. Third highest point total on the week. Seattle versus the Rams. They should be dominating. They should have the ball for the majority of the game. No Cooper Kupp, less sustained drives. I think Seattle could put up a big score in the week. JSN injured. We'll see if he ends up playing too. Like if JSN is certain to play week 1, I'll probably start to fade Metcalf in this, but where he still has a chance to miss it, I think that gives him a nice little boost in pick 25. It's worth the risk. So we don't get a bring back. The other pick I was going to do instead of Metcalf was Raheem Mostert. Does everyone have a tight end? Fantasy Dysfunctional doesn't have a tight end yet. He goes Goddard versus the Pats. This should work out for us. We got a little mini stack between Metcalf and Higbee. Unless this guy goes 2 tight ends with Higbee, that'd be the craziest. This one's fun. Give us Higbee already. So we bring in Higbee with this team. So we get the mini stack. We're just fading Miami in this game. Which is fine because we have Jefferson. We have Bijan. That's a fun draft too. Could have brought in Evan Ingram too there, but wanted the mini stack in that game, especially Cooper Kupp not playing. Tyler Higbee becomes what? The first favorite target? The second favorite target to Staffy? So people high on A-Chain, yeah. So for me, that injury, Jeff Wilson going to the IR, does it change anything for the end of the season? Like if we all thought that Jeff Wilson was going to be the red zone guy, he was going to get the 3rd and goal carries on the 2. Does anything change for the fantasy football playoffs? I think there's some overreactions I've seen on the Twitter machine of where like Mostert should go and stuff. But yeah, it's positive. If you have Mostert at his ADP, if you got A-Chain at his ADP, it's looking good for them for advance rate clicks. But I'm still not fully sold on the week 15, 16, 17 thing for them. JK says, in my 10-man PPR, I might just go Cheetah at 4. Eckler, I'm iffy. Cup went down. Those are my first 2 options. If it's a 2 running back, 2 receiver league, I'm going Eckler every time. If it's a 3 wide receiver league, then you could you can go either way with Tyreek Hill or Eckler, but I'm probably still going Eckler in full point PPR. Surprising. I saw this the other day. I was just looking at the season totals. Tyreek Hill finished as wide receiver 2 in full point PPR and wide receiver 3 in half point. Devontae Adams was wide receiver 2 in half point PPR. Is that weird? I would have thought it would have been the opposite, but I guess he caught a good amount of balls last season, so you can probably expect that to continue this season in Miami as long as Tua can stay healthy. Guys, this was a fun one, and we're going to be doing this every single Tuesday night with a special guest at 8 p.m., so make sure you hit the bell for notifications. Join us on that show. We're going to be doing slate breakdowns every single week. Jump in the Discord so you can draft with us off stream, and we can sweat together. And back in Indy, throw it up. Throw it up. What do you got for a question? We'll answer the question before we go. What's a good pick? What are the options? What do we got for options? Finding Value Fantasy. Appreciate you, man. Appreciate you coming in, dropping some love. What do we got for a question back end, Indy? And then we're going to wrap it up. Finding Values asking, what do you think about the Dog Bowl? Going to be doing a lot of entries. I'm going to do one a week. It's 10K to first. I don't really have a huge want to go to Miami. But if you do, it could be fun. It's going to be fun. But we'll see. If it doesn't end up filling, maybe towards the end, we'll get into it. Right now, I think I'm seeing a mistake. It says rake 73%. Like that can't be correct. So the Dog Bowl is a qualifier, right? And it says top 3 win tickets to Miami for a live final and a chance at $1 million in prize. 13,000 entrants, top 3 get in. So all the money goes to the people basically in the finals, and it's a 12 times 3, a 36 team final. So 36 people going out to Miami. Sounds fun. Yeah, we'll see if it fills. If it doesn't fill, I'll throw in some lineups at the end. Just starting on this app, need to know a little more, that's all. Yeah, just run through our videos. If you haven't already, use code Pounders when you sign up, POUNDERS. All our videos, we've been covering Underdog content all summer long since the Super Bowl. So if you want to jump into that, go ahead, rewatch this video. We're going to be switching over from just Underdog season-long drafting to these DFS tournaments to redraft content. So if you are involved in that, stick around. Appreciate you. I'm stuck with Eckler and Cheetah. It's not a bad option. Just think, it's better that you didn't have your draft yet, because then you'd be taking Cup. Yeah, jump in the Discord. It's huge resource. We have 180 people in there, and everyone's super active. They're posting their drafts, and it's just a lot of fun. It's like Twitter, but it doesn't suck. All right, guys and girls, I appreciate you. Have a good night. Slap a like on the way out. Pounders.